Hey, friends! Your old pal, Barkey Dog here, back with another movie review. I thought it might be fun to check in with our old friend, the 1980s, once again. So, I have a very 80s movie that is day-glow all the way. This time, we're talking about the Allnighter from 1987. Our story goes like this. After 4 years, college is finally ending for our friends here. Everyone is packing up and getting ready for the big fiesta, the end of the year blowout down on the beach. Gina is working on a documentary of their final college days. Val is going to marry this schlub who represents the worst of the 1980s. Oh, man, that hair and those glasses. Ugh. He's got money, but he'd rather talk on the phone making business deals than make it out with Val. What a dumbass, huh? And our main protagonist here is Molly, who has not yet known the touch of man. She's feeling down because after 4 years, she still hasn't met anyone or had makeouts or anything. She's also worried about giving a speech at graduation since she's the valedictorian. Their two friends are surfer dudes. Killer, who is a philosopher mystic type, at one with the surf, and CJ, who's going to Boston to study law. They all live in a kind of run-down row of beach house flats off campus. Now, Molly is hot for CJ, and CJ is hot for Molly, but neither of them know that yet, or want to admit it yet because they're kind of friends, right? Mickey, an alumnus of the school, stops by to look the old place over. He was the lead singer of a band called the Rhinos, who Molly idolizes, and he used to live in their flat when he went to this school. When it looks like CJ is kind of a dud, she decides Mickey might be the right guy to make her night. But then these hotel detectives figure any hot, sexy chick dressed like it was the 1980s, in the 1980s, must obviously be ladies of the evening and call the cops. Just at the wrong moment. And Val and Gina, who went to the hotel to try to help Molly out, they wind up in stir. Can Molly get her friends out of the hoosegow in time to find true love? Will Val go through with her marriage to Mr. Cringe? Will Killer find the perfect wave man? Will Gina ever get to finish her documentary? And what of the fiesta? In our cast, we have Susanna Hoffs as Molly. She was, of course, best known as the lead singer of the Bangles and pretty much the breakout star of the band, even though the members of the Bangles divided the singing duties. In the same way that Belinda Carlisle was the breakout star of the Go-Go's. Jane Wiedlin was okay, but she never had the solo career success Carlisle had. It's a sad story, but the Bangles, the Go-Go's, the Spice Girls, even Katrina and the Waves, they all broke up over internal tensions when some members of the band would get more credit than the others. That led to jealousy and friction, but eventually, the Bangles and the Spice Girls got over themselves and reformed. At least for one-off appearances and the occasional album. None of the bands really recaptured their initial success, though. Hoffs is okay in this role and surprisingly doesn't come off as glamorous like you would expect. She's more of a plain, regular person, and oddly, you'd think she'd be playing a musician trying to get a band going, right? But that isn't the case here. I'm not even sure what she was studying at this school. I don't think they really say. And I don't think she even sings anything on the soundtrack. She might be on one song, but she's not credited for that. It sounds like her, but it might be her, it might not be, don't know. No, she was actually trying her hand at acting. So it's a little like when Fred Astaire is in a movie but doesn't do any dancing. I didn't think she was terrible or anything. She obviously wasn't as experienced as some of the members of the cast, but she could have gained that over another project or two. And maybe if she had made more films, she might have had a second career in front of the camera. But that never happened, so she either never got another shot at it or she just wasn't keen on it. She mostly stuck to music videos and concerts. We have an appearance by Sheriff Harry S. Truman from Twin Peaks, Michael Oncte, and two siblings of more famous stars, Joan Cusack, sister of John Cusack, and Dedee Pfeiffer, sister of Michelle Pfeiffer, and she is just as cute as a button, isn't she? I really liked her character throughout the whole thing, too. Joan is interesting as Gina, and check this out. This video editing controller, I used to use one of those back in the day. Let me tell you, those aren't cheap. I doubt this college would just hand those out to students living off campus, so maybe her family has money and she bought it herself. She doesn't get any backstory, so there's no way to say. We also have Pam Grier, who pops up as a local police sergeant. And if you look fast, you'll see this surfer chick at the big fiesta hanging out with Killer. She was played by Debbie Diamond. Diamond tried her luck at acting, but never got very far, so instead, she went full-time into prom. That's right, she became a prawn star. A very prolific one, no less. We also have a surprise appearance by Mesock Taylor from Designing Women, one of the hotel security staff. We last saw him in my review of Mannequin. And this bellhop here at the hotel, he was played by Todd Field. Field appeared in Radio Days, Fat Man and Little Boy, Gross Anatomy, and Eyes Wide Shut. He's also a filmmaker, directing the recent Cate Blanchett film, Tar. Overall, I think the whole cast was good in their respective roles here. I liked all of these characters. Everyone seemed to have a good time making it, and that translates to the screen. Watching it, however, well, that didn't go over so well. Critics hated it, and audiences mostly stayed away. It wasn't a flop, though, making back twice what it cost to make. True, this movie is lacking something. I can't quite put my hand on it. Oh, they're all part of the itty-bitty committee. That's all right, I guess, for some people. The film was written, produced, and directed by Tamar Hoffs, Susanna's mom, and she was a legit filmmaker. So she didn't just come up with a mindless 90-minute time waster. No, she added a sort of underlying theme about times changing, about growing up, about giving up the final trappings of childhood, and ultimately leaving the nest and having to finally cross that threshold into adulthood and facing the uncertainties out there in the real world. I liked all of that. It's nothing new. We've seen that in American Graffiti and in The Hollywood Knights, a movie I reviewed elsewhere on the channel. So other films have done it better maybe, but I liked it here. And yet, ostensibly, the film is meant to emulate the classic beach movies of the 1960s, something fun and not too serious. So this movie is a confection, sure, but underneath it, it has some Brussels sprouts. And that may be why this one doesn't get more love. People expecting a light college beach comedy with a pop star got less of that and more of the Brussels sprouts. So, chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts, I guess. And who wants that? But it's still a college population in the 1980s. So, we have cool kids, hunky surfer dudes, sexy chicks, and beach bunnies. There's a big celebratory party with young people looking for love, if not makeouts, helped out by a lot of booze and good music. Now, compare that to college campuses today. Ugh! Everything today is awful. I swear, every day I get up and look out the window trying to find Mr. Spock to see if he has the beard or not. Because we are living in the worst timeline. You've got green Christmases because the climate has gone all kablooey. Politics are more craptastic than at any time ever. Microplastic is in everything, including us. There's no monoculture anymore, so entertainment is fractured with no shared experiences. We have 50,000 channels and nothing's on, and nobody's watching it anyway because they're all on TikTok. So there's no video rental stores. Everything is streaming, but not everything is because a lot of stuff just isn't available. And what there is has been edited for content, so you can't even watch the original film or TV show like you want to. And even then, they randomly shove in a ton of ads. You can't sit a kid down in front of Star Trek anymore because there's people's eyes getting gouged out. They drop F-bombs, and there's no characters you can take seriously or root for or look up to. You can't trust Disney with your kids either. Star Wars is dead and losing money. Women aren't women anymore, that's not allowed. No heroes because men are shown as toxic and bad. Unless they're all weak and soy, and even then they're not getting any because they're all gay. Click, 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 click. Ads, 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 ads. Faces shoved into a screen. No one talks anymore. No one smiles anymore. No one lives lives anymore. Just click, click, click. Tap, tap, tap. The malls are dead because no one shops in person or hangs out at the food court anymore. No bookstores anymore because no one reads anymore. Comedy is dead because you're not allowed to use words anymore. Don't risk offending anyone anymore. No jokes anymore, only smarmy, snarky sniping with no thought behind it, no intellect behind it, and no talent behind it. Everything is message, 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 message. So Hollywood is dying, broadcast TV is dying, literature is dying, radio is dead, dead, dead. No live DJs anymore. No surprise hits anymore. No personalities anymore. No local public service anymore. Nothing worth watching or listening to on public broadcasting anymore. No driveway moments anymore. Listen at 1.5x, 2x, 3x. Don't absorb anything. Don't ponder anything. Don't pause anymore. Don't take a breath anymore. Don't think anymore. Because that's a waste of time. Instead of brains, there's just a row of rotting cabbages. So there's no culture anymore. Nothing is original or creative anymore. Just sequels, prequels, reboots, reimaginings, and rehashes. Corporate slop. Algorithmic slop. AI slop. Recycled slop. Nothing is worth anything, and yet it's still too expensive. The rent is too damn high. Little kids with no breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything is awful, and this is the worst timeline in the entire history of life on Earth, if not in the history of the whole entire universe. But I digress. This film was made in a better and simpler time, and it reflects that. Sure, there were a lot of crappy things going on back then, but there were also fun, awesome things, and much more of it. The hair, the fashions, the music. It's all there, just waiting for you. The Allnighter is an interesting artifact from the Dayglow era. There are better films to be sure, but there's also far worse films. Some of the cast are quite good, and all of them are likable. The only true villain in the movie is time, meaning you gotta face growing up sooner or later. It's a curious concoction, and I didn't think it was truly terrible. It also has a good soundtrack, so if you need some 1980s in your life, and who doesn't, this one may just fit the bill. So I'm giving the Allnighter 2 1/4 paws up. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.